Hello everyone, in this video we are going to discuss about configurations of differential amplifier. We know differential amplifier means the amplifier which amplifies the difference between the two inputs is known as differential amplifier. In differential amplifier we have mainly four types of configurations. First configuration is dual input balanced output differential amplifier. Dual input balanced output. And the second configuration is dual input unbalanced output differential amplifier. And the third configuration is single input balanced output differential amplifier. And the fourth one is single input unbalanced output differential amplifier. These are the four configurations in differential amplifier, and these configurations are depends upon the number of inputs and the way the output is measured. Here observe dual input balanced output, dual input unbalanced output, single input balanced output. What is meant by dual input and what is meant by balanced output means, let's see here. Balanced output is nothing but the output is taken between the two collectors. In differential amplifier we connect the two BJTs into the single amplifier. There is two collectors are there. If we take the output between the two collectors, here observe the output is taken between the two collectors is known as balanced output. Balanced output is nothing but if the output is taken between the two collectors, then that is known as balanced output. Now let's see what is unbalanced output. Output is taken between any one of the collector with respect to the ground. Here in balanced output we taken the output between the two collectors, but in unbalanced output we take the output from only any one of the collector with respect to the ground. Now let's come on to the what is single input. Single input is nothing but one input. Okay, only one input is connected to the input and grounded. That means in differential amplifier we know we have two inputs. Okay, if any one of the input is only given and the other input is grounded, then that type of configuration is known as single input. Now let's see what is dual input. Both inputs are applied. Here observe, both inputs are applied. We know in differential amplifier you have two inputs. If we apply these two inputs, then that is known as dual input. Now let's see what are the diagrams or circuit diagrams for dual input balanced output, dual input unbalanced output, single input balanced output, and single input unbalanced output. Here observe the first diagram. The first diagram indicates the DBO. DBO is nothing but dual input balanced output. Dual input means if the input is applied to the both input terminals, that is known as dual input. Here observe this circuit diagram. Here it is V1. It is V1 and it is V2. Here at both input terminals we applied the voltage, that is V1 and V2. That means it is a dual input. And coming to balanced output. Balanced output means the output is taken from the two collectors. Here observe V0. V0 is taken in between the collector of Q1 and collector of Q2. That means this is the dual input balanced output differential amplifier. Now coming to dual input unbalanced output differential amplifier. Here also dual input means the input is applied to the both input terminals. Here V1 is one of the input terminals and V2 is the another input terminal. Here the voltage applied to the V1 is, that is nothing but V1, and the voltage applied to the second input terminal is V2. Okay, here the voltage applied to the Q1 is V1, voltage applied to the V2 is Q2. That is, it's a dual, but it's unbalanced output. Unbalanced is nothing but take the output from any one of the collector. Here observe, here it takes the output from this collector to the ground, and here collector of Q1 is not taken by the output. Here output is taken by only the collector Q2. That is nothing but unbalanced output. Now let's come into the what is the single input balanced output. Single input is nothing but the input is applied to only one input terminal. Here actually we have two input terminals, that is input terminal for Q1 and input terminal for Q2. But here observe only input terminal for Q1 transistor is applied, that is V1 volts, and the input terminal for Q2 transistor is grounded. Here observe it is grounded. That is nothing but single input. And balanced output is nothing but the output is taken between the two collectors. Here observe V0. V0 output is taken between the two collectors of Q1 and Q2. This is nothing but single input balanced output differential amplifier configuration. Now let's see the last configuration of differential amplifier, that is nothing but single input unbalanced output. Single input unbalanced output. Here single input means the input is applied between the any one of the input terminal to the ground and another input terminal is grounded, and balanced output, sorry, single input unbalanced output means output is taken from any one of the collector terminal. Here observe, the input is applied only at the Q1 transistor, that is V1, and the Q2 transistor input is grounded. Now let's see here, Q2 transistor output, that is collector, at the collector of Q2 transistor only we take the output, at the collector of Q1 transistor we are not taking any output. These are the four configurations of differential amplifier. I hope you understood this topic. Thank you for watching this video.